Assalamu alaikum. And today is the 3rd of the July, and today is the Sunday. And when I just observed the whole night, and I was basically investing a capital amount of the time, and while I was basically understanding a lot of issues of the Pakistan is that there are certain and uncertain, specified and unspecified, non-specified issues in the Pakistan which Pakistanis are not willing to understand. Yes, the 90% of the Pakistanis are profound in the habitual uh, negations to their post applied sentimental disorders in their houses. And after being manipulated by the same, in fact, after having no point of the procurement of their bodies, they just try to evict the laws of the fabrication by their own pointations. When I just observed that they are trying to cover up the issues of the surrounding and they are concealing the problems to the same, in fact, they are suffering from a lot of issues and they are not willing to extend a lot of problem solutions, solved based questions. When I just observed the universities in the Punjab, I was ashamed to notice the status and the status of the students. When I just observed the whole of the police order in the Pakistan, I was shocked to observe the same. In fact, I was observing the police order 2002, and I observed that the police order is working for the welfare of the humanity, but the common citizens are not willing to work for the same. I observed the police rules 1937, chapter 5, and the Pakistanis are not willing to observe the same. I observed the Article 199 of the Constitution of the 1973, but the Pakistanis and Indians were not in the positions to find and confine the same solution-based issues to the same. When I just multiply that, the 95% of the Pakistanis are profound as to committing of the illicit principal sexual declined marriages in Pakistan. I said that, and I invent this word. So when I just said that the deferred marriages in the Pakistan and after deferred marriages in the Pakistan, and what is the production growth rate value of the Pakistanis outside their houses, we have to observe this factor by having a dark hand over the armpit of the same local solution based transformations as well. The females of the Pakistan have been raised a lot, and these days, when I just observe, a lot of the females of the Pakistan have been raised, and those females are a product of, you can consume that, the medicines, artificial mentomin, artificial medicine intake. The males of the Pakistan are found in the Pakistan panel PPC after having the ultimate sexual aggression of their bodies. What they do with the female is a question which I should be uh, cognizant to understand the same, in fact, as to recover myself by the same, in fact. The question of the female's dowry. In Pakistan, it is a settled principle of law that the females were married and are married and were being married after having no proper reconciled dowries, and in some cases, extreme point of the dowries. And I'm observing these points that the females, after having a amount of dowry into the house of the other, and the other person is not willing to have the same female in return of the even dowry because of the non-compilatory solution of the same, in fact, because of those you can consume this fact that such females are not produced in the point of a reflected anomaly. That reflected anomaly could not be produced by the same, in fact, and the house of the same rotate with the 45-degree, and such females and the males and the both groups are found in the public sector as to raising a lot of questions to each other that you were not fine and I was not fine, and meanwhile they end up their relationship. And after that, the production which they produce during the such marriage is not a question in any court of law. They come in the guardian courts under the Guardian Act 1819 after not having a sexual drug intake. This is my challenge. The Pakistani bastard females are found in the drug intake reproduction, and the males are found in the overdose of the reproduction. And after that, they, both of them are not willing to work in the sight of the same. The Pakistani females in this hot weather are not willing to work for their houses for the welfare of their men dominance. I found these chaptered uh, cognizable offences in the Pakistan by myself. As I said that the judicial sides of the Pakistanis are not in the position. They are just wastage of their. Thereby, it should be understood that when I just multiply the whole of the Pakistan in the series of the criminal marriages in Pakistan and their parental brotherhood negated one after having no proper reconciled items, they are found in the sexual acts inside their houses, outside their houses, and they're not willing to understand any side of the same. They are blinded by the sex genes, and during output of the same sexes, they take the shelter of religion of Islam, and I'm not willing to understand such religion in any shape value. When any person is not willing to confine himself to the shelter of innocence, then why he is saying that I'm Muslim? Such bastard and such bastard female need to amend herself. That why she or he is raising the slogan that the both sectors are very fine. Why? Because they need some interest. They work in the return of interest without providing any interest to the second part. I'm not willing to interest to make an interest to anyone and to give any property, any right, and I just want everything on the capital inherited interest. This is the case of every Pakistani inside their houses, that they do not want to work for their self. They do not want to consider their self for their self. They consider the others to be their self, and they just want to insult the others by words. They cut by the birds the bastard Pakistanis. Yes. Their females after reproduction growth devalued position after coming in the public sector, always saying that we were not having a proper line of wisdom. Their males are stinking in the public gutters, and their whole psyche and their parents are saying the tricks of the wastage of the time to the youth at default, and they can confine to anyone. I'm not willing to understand. And what is the trouble with the Pakistani females in the question? The sexually aggressive. I'm reversed with the point that this is called the sexual aggressive females of the Pakistan, having no fit body and trying to have the rich ingredient of the males in the Pakistan in the name of the religion is another crime which is associated with the female of Pakistan. The Pakistani bastard criminal females, by misappropriation of the assets and the wills, they just consider that such females consider that the males are their innocent and the males are their mates. We the males of the Pakistans are not willing to understand any Pakistani female issue, because such females have to reconsider their physical capacities before they get married in the Pakistan. This is my judgment, data, opinion based to the all Pakistani groups in association with the laws of the land. When the Pakistani females are not willing to understand the issue of the males in the public sector, such females are just waiting for to have the dick intake and dick outside, and after that raising the Islam and Islam and Islam and Christianity and other religion. I'm not willing to understand such individuals in my line of understanding to the laws. When I just said that the main issue, the main focal point area of the Pakistani females, the bastard criminal females of the Pakistan, I said the criminal females. These females have a lot of dicks inside their pussies, a lot of their youth times, and after that they just optimize the factor that these females were not optimized with the law and order, and they say that the Islam is the point of the negation. They just waste the time of the other side by raising the religion. I'm not willing to understand those points by myself. If any person is religious, he should kill himself. If any person is not religious, I'm not interested. In which factor I am interested is a question of humanity. I always tend to understand that if the Pakistani females are dying and those females are in the habit of having the dicks intake, I always raise my points that their parents have made them so pathetic, drastic, that they want Islamic dick these days. But the dick don't have the name, right? So when they don't take the dick in the name of the religion, their parents are saying that our divorcee females, you have to have them. Why should a person like me have a divorcee repatriated foreign female in my list of the grave functioning? Why? My challenging question to the whole of the Pakistani, that your females pussies are vaginal overswapped, and I'm a doctrine. I have invested that doctrine of the females negated vaginals and the other issues in the dysfunctional groups of the Pakistanis. I become scientist by myself then. I observe these issues by myself that the females of the Pakistan are found in the public gutters. I am watching those scenes. That those females, after having ejaculations, after having so many drastic positions, want the perfect males, and the perfect males are not willing to. A perfect male like me is not willing to have to take any bastard Pakistani bitch. I'm very straight away these days because the Pakistani bitches are overused, and in the name of the politics, they are the Pakistani females are found in the politics as to selling off their bodies. I'm watching these issues in the courts, in the Supreme Judicial Council, and subordinate points to the same. Those females are found as to selling off their bodies in return of the cash, and such females said that we are very religious, and their daughters would be so deferred as well, and their males are so bastard criminal that such males are always ready to have the sexual illicit scenes even with the mothers of the same. In fact, thereby, when the whole of the Pakistanis are in the position of the sexual intake and outtake and output and input, then what the hell they are producing a lot of children in the public sector in my street. Whenever I observe in the public sector a lot of females of the tenant at will in the Pakistan, tenant at will, their parents are neglected by their inheritance and they don't have any idea. Their parents have deducted them, their parents have declined their positions, their parents are not willing to have them, their parents are suffering from social anxiety crime, and they're selling social anxiety inside their houses and they don't have any idea. I'm tired of listening to these bastards. Whenever I just observe that they're always in the positions to sell the fear of death in the name of religion is an exclusive crime in the grey list of the Pakistan zone.